was mentioned in this particular interview, referred to as the architect of this kind of changes. Good morning, and thank you very much for your time.
Senna, good morning. Happy New Year. I'm privileged to have joined you. It's been a while.
Yes. Many happy returns. And I'm sure you listened to this particular interview. If you haven't, you've heard at least this portion of the interview where specific reference was even made to you and your leadership of what the Ghana Law Society, among others. What do you say to the things he said?
First of all, let me make the point that I didn't listen to the interview, but I got the opportunity to read some online reportage of what he was supposed to have said, and he hasn't denied that part. So it passes as a true reflection of the things he said during the interview. Now, one is my senior Boafo suggesting that a voluntary association, in fact, a voluntary professional association like the Ghana Pharmaceutical Society, Ghana, the Medical and Dental of Doctors, or the GMA, as they call them, the Ghana Nurses and Midwifery Association, the GPRTU, NAT, Ghana National Association of Teachers, and such other professional groupings are creatures of the Constitution, 1992. Is that how Boafo? Is that the logic, the law he's urging on us? The GBA is not a superior professional association than any of these at all. So when people that we regard highly at the bar make these business legal arguments, then you ask yourself, what's going on? You will have to read their statement of case in court. You are aware that we are in court in this matter.
Yes, they refer to it.
Now, the problem they have is that they see everything from a jaundiced view of politics. I've been a crusader in this matter for the past 15 years or more. I never pursued this matter through the perspective of an NDC grouping or not. I have always been the believer that the Ghana Bar Association, Ghana Bar Association, has lost its luster and purpose and does not deserve any constitutional protection within the strictures of our constitution. So, my formation of the Ghana Law Society predates the second coming of JM and the NDC. I started the formation. In fact, the association was incorporated as a professional group in or about 2022. I have made the point that the GBA has lost its purpose because, you see, the GBA has reduced itself as the legal wing of the NPP. When the NPP is in power, they support everything the NPP does. When the NPP leaves power, they support every opposition that the NPP gives government. In other words, give the NDC government. But let's leave the generals and move to the specifics. When the GBA went to court to deny the NDC the right to celebrate 31st December and June 4th as statutory public holidays, Boafo should tell me what they were doing. They made the argument before the court that the decision of government to declare those days as statutory public days do not dovetail into our present democratic dispensations, because they were days that were linked to revolutionary and violent days. So in a democracy, you need not to do that. A right that is enshrined in Article 21(1)(e) of the Constitution. The NDC was deprived of it. It took the Ghana bar to do that. In any case, that is not the issue. The issue is that the Constitution grants the right of freedom of association. Professional groupings of any liking who come together and form an association. So our position is that the mistaken mention of the Ghana Bar Association in the Constitution was a misnomer. It was a mistake. It has to be taken out.
But
The
he says,
Constitution cannot be the preserve of a single voluntary professional grouping. That those were not the true intent of the framers of the Constitution.
but he says that this arrangement has been in place, was in place under Rawlings, even though the GBA at the time boycotted the constitutional, the process that brought the Constitution into being. President Rawlings found it worthy to accept this recommendation. They've been doing this for a long time. There's not been any complaints from any of the institutions on which they have representation on their board that they were not doing their work well. So why change something that has not created any problem?
So it's like Boafo saying that, even the decision to say that we should make constitutional, no portion of the Constitution should be reviewed because the provisions have been working for a long time. That's the kind of logic. It is because nobody has critically examined the essence of the presence of the GBA in our Constitution. But I have. And there's no time bar to raising any matter of law. No time bar. I can raise it at any time material. So the argument that they've stayed in the Constitution for all this while, then therefore we are stopped from raising it, is neither here. In fact, it is no law at all.
So your issue is that as a voluntary association, they should not be given that prime of place?
At all. Absolutely not.
Why not? A body of lawyers, people who perhaps understand
and are able to interpret. Body. It is not a statutory body. It is a voluntary association of professionals that is incorporated under the Professional Bodies Act, NRCD, I believe 75 or so, 1972. At all. In fact, we are struggling to understand the circumstances under which Ghana Bar Association was sneaked into the Constitution, because they didn't even participate. They refused to participate in the consultative assembly process.
And perhaps that is why he's making the point that if the GBA did not participate, yes, still those who put together a constitution found it worthy to put the GBA there. Why are you?
So today they love something Jerry Rawlings has done. GBA today, 33 years or 34 years after the promulgation of the Constitution, they are in love with what Rawlings has done for them. Well, we are not. We are not. And it should stop saying that this crusade was waged by the NDC. No. Even if the NDC led it, I would have supported it. But it wasn't an NDC-led process. It was a group of like-minded lawyers who felt that the GBA has used its position both as a professional body and by virtue of its mistaken presence in the Constitution to abuse its rule within our body policy and turn itself into a pseudo opposition party against any NDC government. right from the days of Jerry Rawlings.
Well, he says that you can suggest that he's an MPP sympathizer or member, but he's not openly identified himself with the party. There are many people you can mention who you suggest that they are MPP sympathizers or members, but they've not openly taken partisan positions.
Who
You
told
have.
you? Who asked Boafo whether he didn't attempt to become a parliamentary candidate for the NPP? Ask him. He thinks that we don't have records.
That he attempted to be an MP on the ticket of the MPP.
In one of the Kumasi seats. Ask Boafo. He went to file, but he didn't go through. He filed, he actually filed, but he chickened out. They think that we don't have records.
But he also says that if he is an MPP member, and you can mention a few more, he can also refer to, because he mentions specific names. Neo Samuels. He mentioned the name of even Anthony Forson, Benson Uchukwi, among others.
Who told him that Anthony Forson is an NDC man? Or because his father was once an attorney general in an NDC government and a former high commissioner to India and Malaysia. Anthony Forson has never identified himself as an NDC person. So that record be set straight. Let me tell you what the Ghana Bar Association did to Neo Osano, its former president, national president. What did Neo Osano do? Neo Osano simply said the Bar Association. Just a sentence and incarcerated.
Okay.
If you recall.
Yes.
So, as the national president, and I believe this was 2010, 2011, and he, as the national president, decided that they will go visit Chachu in Sawam. As a member of an association that he was a national
Honorable.
Yes.
We seem to be losing you now. In fact, the majority of what you said, we did not hear.
Okay. I am saying.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, better now.
I'm saying that sometime in 2010, 2011.
I think that was prior to 2008 or around 2008.
No.
Because 2010, yes, 2010, 2011.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Now, let me rephrase. So when Chatu was incarcerated, the then National Bar President, Neo Samuels, because he mentioned his name. So I tell you what the Ghana Bar Association to somebody they saw as an NDC person who had become the national president of the Ghana Bar Association. He decided to take a few members of the association, or to lead a few members of the association, to go and visit the Venerable Chachu Chikata, who had then been convicted of those trump-up charges and sentenced to jail in Sawam. So they went to visit him, and that was about it. When he was got back, people like Boafo together and issued a statement and said that me Osa, as the national president, didn't have the backing of the Bar Council to go and visit Chachu. And therefore, he was in breach of some strange rule. So they impeached him. Osa didn't complete his term. He did not. They forced him to leave office. Osa is alive. If what I'm saying is untrue, he will come and speak to it. they forced Musa out with a threat of impeachment. It's been some time. So either he agreed to leave to resign prematurely, or they actually succeeded in impeaching him. So this was what they did to Neo Samuels. He should, what happened for this country in favor of the NPP? So he should spare us.
I see. Honorable, have you ever been a member of the GBA?
I am a proud member of the GBA.
You are.
I am.
I know for a fact that your director legal is also a member. I'm sure Honorable Sosu is a
I am
member.
a member of the GBA. The
So
problem is that the GBA, when you are called to the bar, you are made a compulsory member of the GBA.
then
So even if you don't get to pay your dues, you remain a member. You may not be a member, a FIDE member. That is the kind of arrangement that these are some of the things that we are cutting down.
now you said membership of the GBA is not mandatory, or what our people will call by force. That you choose to be a member.
I did not choose to be a member. Ask any new lawyer who is called to the bar. The day you are signing your name in the roll of lawyers, a register that contains the names of which we call roll of lawyers. The same day they are giving you membership form for the GBA. If you like, don't sign and see whether you'll be called to the bar. You can only begin to raise issues after you have cut your teeth.
I see. Because, and let me conclude on this note, because he's referring to it's called, I think, the Ghana Law Society.
Yes.
He refers to, it says, you, President, Honorable
Yes.
Sosu, is he secretary or your vice? Now, in that situation, the two of you are known activists, in fact, members of parliament on the ticket of the NDC. So it is that association that you are formed that can be referred to as a partisan association formed to pursue a partisan agenda. But the GBA cannot be said to be so. How do you respond to that?
Hold on. The former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, was once the Greater Accra Bar president. He was. Was he not linked to the NPP? Frank Davis, who remains on record as one of the kingpin lawyers for the NPP, was until recently the Greater Accra Bar president of the GBA. Is it not linked to the NPP? Now, the Honorable Samoku Jeto, a long-standing member of the NPP, in fact, arguably the most important national council member of the NPP, has been a long-standing council member of the Ghana Bar Association. Is it not linked to the NPP? So you see, that is why yesterday I told him, when I responded to him on Twitter, when he made that spurious issue about the NDC, that he won't win this battle, he won't win this war. So he shouldn't wage it, because he won't succeed.
So as far as Honorable Dafeamekpor is concerned, the proposed amendment is the right thing to do.
In any case, we are in court. Why is he raising these matters in the media? He should come to court. I have sued. You are aware that I've sued. I'm asking
Yes.
the Supreme Court to actually deal with this matter. Long before the Constitutional Review Committee released its report yesterday. So what is Yao Boafo talking about?
See.
As for them, they think they have a natural self-sense of entitlement. Nobody else should have. But you see, like I told him, in the salutary words of the indomitable Sowa GSE in 24 versus Attorney General, our constitution is akin to an organic matter. It is capable of growth. It is growing. The GBA has no place in our constitution. It has no place. It cannot be a creature of the constitution. If the framers of the constitution intends to create a statutory body known as Ghana Bar Association, Parliament would have done so expressly.
Well, Honorable, thank you.
Ever since I've been in Parliament since 2017, we have hardly enacted any law that contains the GBA. Since 2017, I have ensured that the GBA hasn't appeared in any of our legislations.
Okay.
It hasn't happened.
But why not? Because you are a member. You could have been the beneficiary of whatever law enacted gives you.
No. There must be a fair playing field for all professional associations of lawyers.
See. Oh, thank you. Thank you for speaking to us.
It's my pleasure.
Is the whip, majority chief whip, member of parliament for South Dine. I believe that his constituents are listening to us as we speak. Honorable Rockson Nelson Dafeamekpor speaking to us this morning on this issue. Very, very interesting issue. On the matter of this were comments of Yao Boafo. Yao Boafo is a former president of the Ghana Bar Association. A few things he points to. One of them is the Constitutional Review Committee, the H. Kwesi Prempeh led one, the proposal they've made. That instead of the Ghana Bar Association, the president should reserve the right to nominate a senior lawyer of his choosing to replace the Ghana Bar Association on the boards that they currently serve on, because it's a voluntary association. Honorable Rockson Nelson Dafeamekpor is also challenging the GBA's place in the constitution in court. That the GBA as a voluntary association formed and a professional association should not have that prime of place that Ghana National Association of Teachers do not have among the many other associations. Let's speak to a member of the